ocean is windy and the swells are large, therefore no fishing. But I spotted my father's 50, 60-year-old tackle box sitting in my garage. My father had an amazing life. He became a Navy diver in World War II, also fought in Korea and Vietnam. Between wars, he traveled all over the world, always near the ocean. He loved fishing and diving, which he taught his kids. So yeah, I've had it forever too, but I've opened it a couple times, but never really inspected what was inside, so now's the time to do it. I like the vintage beach tar there. And look at this thing, it's all brushed aluminum and there's really nice hinges, riveted right in there. It's really well built. It was made by UMCO Corporation, model 175 from Spring Park, Minnesota, back in the day. Like I said, over 50 years old, and there's no corrosion on this thing whatsoever. Latch works perfectly, no corrosion behind the latch. I think we're just gonna have to open this thing up and see what's inside. Well, it looks like it was just made inside. Even the plastic, you'd think the plastic would be really tarnished, but that's some pretty high quality plastic there. I think he picked up most of these lures for fishing in Florida. So he might have an access to a boat or something, but I'm really not sure. He might have been using this all around. He might have been in Hawaii also, but mostly tropical. He didn't really come to like Northern California or Central California like we fish, or I say I fish. I think this piece is from the 70s, so we use it. But we did a little stint of salmon fishing going out under the Golden Gate Bridge on a boat. This is a pretty cool little piece. It's made by the Fishy Tackle Company of San Francisco. Got a 9-foot, 40-pound leader, 2 anchovy harnesses, and a sinker release. Looks like a rooster tail to me for a pretty big fish. I like that really gnarly hook on the end there. So, and this is interesting. Looks like something for a squid, or it looks like it's supposed to be a squid. And it's got that propeller up the front and a little weed blocker down there. Let's see what the name of this thing is. This thing's called a sputterfuss. I guess that little propeller is going to whip around, give you lots of action. Pretty darn cool. See what we got here. I'd never opened this up before. It's a boy's life from June 1949, and if they're around, I kind of doubt they're advertising 22 still, but everybody got one. You got your BB gun, you got your 22, you learned how to shoot. It was a lot of fun, fish, dive, we had a great time. Aha, here we go. He just needed it in the box for when he wanted to tie his leaders. Look at that, nice little lesson on every knot you could use. I could do a video just using that. Little long shank live bait hook. That's kind of amazing because the one thing we did pilfer out of the box from my dad was any hooks or weights before we went fishing. Not sure what this is. I don't know if he bought this, but now you can fly cast with your spinning outfit. Sunset Line and Twine Company of Petaluma, California and Florence, Alabama. I used to live there, Petaluma. Look at that. Okay, let's move on. See what else we got down there. Something in a tube. Not sure what it is. Kind of looks like a bobber that's just free on your line. It says, fish super duper as deep as possible. Cast accurately and far with light tackle. Attach directly to the line or leader. Do not use swivel. Retrieve slowly and steadily without a rod tip. Action, great for bass, trout, walleyes, steelheads, bluegill, and crappies. The other freshwater game fish won't twist the line. Well, if anybody out there sees this and has an idea what it's used for, please let me know. I like this little box. It's probably from World War II. You can see the U.S. Navy insignia on top there in reverse. It's kind of hidden under all that corrosion. They were everywhere on the naval base. All the guys had little parts and pieces like this little, swivel clip. Pretty cool. This says, enclosed is a trailer hook and washer to be attached to the bend in the hook of a Hawaiian wiggler. I'm not sure if you can see it there, but it shows that it's attached to the loop goes over another hook, and you use that rubber thing there to prevent it from coming off. I have no clue what this next item is. It might have something to do with those pieces of rock, but that might be wax from back in the day. So if anybody knows what the heck that is, yeah, it's another thing I'd really like to know. Got this big old rooster tail here. I love the feathers on that. They're very shiny. I don't know how old it is. I know it's got to be pre-70s, but I love how just iridescent the feathers are. This thing is definitely from back in the day. I like it's hand painted, handmade, really good treble hook screwed on in there. Really cool. Check this one out. It's called the Hula Popper. That's really neat. Look at the artwork. Beautiful. I like how this thing has two treble hooks side by side there. A bunch of them do in this thing. Another nice lure. Not sure how old it is. This one may be the oldest of the bunch, or maybe he just used it a lot. I like those aluminum fins on there. Must have gave it a lot of action. Another one well made, handmade. I wonder what it was painted like. Oh, I like this one. This reminds you of a real modern minnow that we have. I have something like it, but this one's really hard. And those really nice treble hooks that come with it. Today's, I think you got a lot of times, the cheaper ones, you got to replace those treble hooks with the nice ones, so they come really expensive. But this next one's really cool. It's called a Heddon, H-E-D-D-O-N Crazy Trawler. He had a bunch of Heddon lures in there. And I like that the aluminum wings in there, and the trebles are put on by two screws. Just very nicely built, handmade, pretty cool. This one's kind of hard to tell who made it because that's all corroded there. It's called Jitterbug, but I think it was made by Red Boast. I like this next one. Looks like a hand-painted frog. Needs some trebles or something. My dad must have just liked it to keep it without hooks on it. A lot of these poppers had like rubber tails that were all broken down. I like this one because it's so simple. It's got a nice little hook and the two propellers up front. I thought that was really cool the way they spin. This thing looks brand new with that orange anodized aluminum. It's a Russell Lore number 2. Even gives you two options on where to tie your string. This one's certainly very interesting. I have no idea what you'd fish with that or what it is. It's well built though. I like how the trebles there are attached on the back into those little sunken bowls, so you don't wear out, I guess. But that's a really nice lure there. You got a little spinner on the back. So if you know what we're fishing with that, please tell me. Then we had an assortment of these spinners. We saw a lot of these back in the day, and I imagine people are still using them up on the rivers. This is called a Daredevil Imp. I used to see a lot of these back when I was fishing on the rivers and stuff. It's got a little logo there of a devil. And the hook's not a treble hook, it's a dual hook. I should have showed it to you. There it is. For some reason, I remember really wanting one of those as a kid and not having one. It's a nice handmade lure again, wooden, hand-painted, and well-made. Very interesting. I have no idea how old that is. This one caught my eye, probably because it was so shiny, but it looks like a bug, and the hook's got a shape that runs all the way up and is soldered really well. It looks handmade, and you got that little weed blocker on there. It just seems like a really nice made lure. And this is cool. This is a cheap lure, but looks like a little fish. And I don't know how old that one is either. That might be from something I bought in the 70s. I don't know. It's called a Hot Shot. Looks like a pretty old lure. Some small bass or something. And these are fun because you can see that that's hand wound and it's hand epoxied. And of course we see them now as just a little plastic unit in the tackle box. So almost shut the box, and this caught my eye in there. It's the Colorado Spinner by Fluger. And you can see it's something you'd find in the tackle box. No one used it stapled to the thing. It's probably really cheap and cool. And then a little split shot box. I just like the way it's slid open back from the day. So there you go. My dad's old tackle box. Over 50 years old, maybe 60. From the 40s through the 70s. And I hope you really enjoyed it. And if you know anything about that stuff in there, please comment below. I'd love to know it. Before my dad's tackle box, I did try to make a video on shore fishing. So I figured I'd do it the Cast Boldly way and go where few people fish. Here's where I went. Unfortunately, I had some problems. I didn't get much good footage, but I did catch a bat ray, so here's that part. It's real short. Going for some perch and see what happens. I thought it would be quite a day. I went out there, and on my first or second cast, I got it hit so hard, it busted the braided line at the tip of the pole, and it popped the tip of the pole out of there. Just completely knocked it out. It was amazing. Broke the tip, or took it. Something really big out there. Something really big out there. It may have just been a bat ray or a really big bat ray, but yeah, it was pretty incredible. And then I did catch a bat ray a few minutes later, a smaller one. Hooked it on the wing, and that caused me to. It pulled, taking all kinds of drag and pulled off to the side there. It was quite a fight. I think that was one of the biggest fishes I've ever caught. And then I also learned I need to wear the body cam and put it in the surf box and wear it on my chest and figure out how to get the the ground cam here a lot closer, so I don't have to stake it in or something and wrap it up because that was too far away. Yeah, the footage is a little sloppy because I was just in a blind panic trying to figure out how to deal with a bat ray. They're really steep or they're... Oh, good. That's perfect.